Hola, Kaipacha here with the weekly Paleo report. It's raining outside, so I'm just going to go through my pictures of Lilith. Actually, this is Inanna, probably one of the oldest carvings that there is on planet Earth of Inanna. And here we have, yes, the earliest representation of Lilith. Yes, see her with the claw feet, with the two owls, always associated with wisdom. And then we know that Lilith was also seen as the female serpent that gave Eve the apple, yes, from the tree of knowledge. So I'm just going to give you the aspects as we go through some of these other representations of Lilith, because I want to talk about Lilith today. She is in opposition with Mars all week long. Oh yeah. In the meantime, the moon is over there in Leo. Okay, until tomorrow, Thursday, she moves into Virgo, where she will square Lilith and Mars. So look out for tomorrow, Thursday. Saturday, she moves into Libra. Monday, into Scorpio. And next Wednesday, we have that full moon. Full moon in Scorpio, sun in Taurus. The big news of today is what? Mercury goes direct. Oh my God, it's stationed right now as I'm doing the Paleo report. Mercury, the messenger of the gods, still in the sky. And if you looked at the first picture of the chart, yes, Mercury sandwiched in between Eris, the goddess of discord, okay, and Uranus, the great sky god of liberation and opening of the third eye. So, yeah, this is a real powerful conference that they're all having together. And Mercury's going to, move forward and conjunct with Uranus very shortly. I mean, well, it is, but, next Tuesday it's exact. Yeah? So, besides that, we've got things moving on. I'm going to talk about, Venus has been retrograde since March 4th to April 15th, and Mercury's been retrograde from, April 9th to May 3rd today. So we've had lots of retrogrades going on, and now things are going to start happening. Things are going to be going direct. Yeah. Sun trines Pluto on Tuesday. So let me just look at the camera and give you the whole shot of what all these aspects mean. I know a lot of you people look forward to that. Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. You made it. We made it. Mercury went direct. Hallelujah. Woo! Oh, yeah. I mean, let's really look at this. It has been some challenging times. My last few Paleo reports, I'm sitting here going, oh my God. It's like so freaking heavy. Finally, we kind of started emerging. I think of, if you go scuba diving or whatever, and you're deep down under the water and you see, the light up above, and you start to surface and you get closer and closer and closer. But my God, it seems like, the surface is a long way off before you finally... Well, we are in this... Like we're just surfacing. After, 6 weeks, we got to give it 6, 7 weeks, even more than that. Yeah? It was really March 4th. Long time ago. Venus went retrograde. She turned her back on us, yeah? And it was this feminine desire, need to go back into Pisces, back into our deepest heart, back into Chiron, squaring Saturn to deal with our past wounds of the heart, yeah? And our values and our priorities and our beliefs, and we've just been in this kind of, what do they call that? The doggy paddle, where you're just in maintain mode. And then on top of that, 3 weeks ago, Mercury goes retrograde. So then we had Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn all going retrograde. Okay? Reflect, remember, renew, rejuvenate. I mean, it's all this kind of inward stuff. And what the universe does for us at that time is it's like, boom. You know, you try to make forward progress, or you try to do business as usual, or, you know, you just try to, you know, keep things going. And the universe says, stop, sit down, reflect, right? I think there was that other paleo report, you know, it's like, sit down in your seat until the lesson is over, you know. I mean, it's like, well, guess what, man? Okay, now the lesson is over, right? Now we surface. Now Venus is direct. Okay, Mercury is direct. Mars is in Gemini. Okay, in opposition to Black Moon Lilith. And we need to really talk about that one. We've got what's on the one hand, and then if you look at that chart, okay, that is up there for today, I shot this chart for the moment, you know, it was like this morning. Mercury, it's a Mercury sandwich. Mercury in between Uranus and Eris, okay? The goddess of discord, and Uranus, sudden rebellion and unexpected surprises, shocks, sometimes traumatic. Mercury is conversation. It's thoughts, thinking. So this is why I come up with this mantra for today. Yes, it is around speaking our truth. Okay, it's like we go in and we tap into, what do I really believe? What is my real soul purpose? What is my life all about? And is what I am doing, the people I'm hanging with, the job I'm performing, okay, the relationships I'm in, are all of these supporting my ultimate life purpose or not? So this is what all this reflection has been about, right? Saturn on the galactic center, okay, just like really bringing in, okay, cosmic intention, soul purpose, really powerfully, yeah? And so now we have, it's time to come out. It's time to go forward. And as we surface, we take a big breath. We've been under for a long time, and then it's like, okay, now what? You know, now what? Oh yeah, I have to swim. You know, I got to get moving. I got to get going. And Mars in Gemini really wants to get going. Okay, Mercury in Aries really wants to get going. Okay, Venus in Aries really wants to get going. Sun in Taurus. Okay, let's look at this. Now we've got Venus, Mercury, Eris, Uranus, the Sun, all in Aries and Taurus, Mars in Gemini. These are the first 3 signs of the zodiac. They rule the first 3 houses. And we all have Aries somewhere. And we all have some planets probably in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd house. So I'm not just talking sun sign astrology here. But I'm going to say that Aries and Taurus and Gemini, this is, if we look at it, kind of the unconscious quadrant. Aries is impulse. Taurus is physical, financial survival. Okay, Gemini is like, look at the terrain. Be here now. Find out, you know, what my neighborhood and what, you know, what is right in front of my nose, and get my act together and relate to my immediate environment and learn, okay, with curiosity, like what's going on around here. So these 3, there's a lot of energy right now into I, me, my. I need my freedom. I need my space to be myself, to be my truth. Okay, this Taurus is I want to build up my self-love. I want to build up my own personal resources. I want to become more self-sufficient. And this is still all opposite Jupiter. And it's all square Pluto. Okay, I mean, very nicely now the Sun in Taurus does a good trine, actually, to Pluto. So that's kind of easing up a little bit. And then this Mars in Gemini is in opposition to this Lilith. up there in Sagittarius. Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter is, you know, Saturn and Black Moon Lilith are both, it's called disposited. Yeah? They're disposited by Jupiter. So Jupiter's like really big, besides being the biggest planet here. And so there is still a lot going on, okay, that we benefit. Jupiter's benefit, growth, and opportunity through having a mirror, through being in relationship, through reflecting, even through enemies. It's other people mirror, okay, who we are, what we need, what we're afraid of, what we lack, blah, 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 blah. So, and it's also, I would say this is a time where as we assert our truth, not by taking off, not by disappearing, not by avoiding or denying or, you know, going into meditation or some ashram or jumping on an airplane or like, you know, escaping. No siree. Now it's about Venus and Mercury and, you know, all this Aries energy is go forward into it. And Mars in Gemini says talk about it with your passion and talk about what you want and talk about your desire and talk about your needs. Open that throat chakra. And the Sun in Taurus says, yeah, I believe in myself. I love myself. I am ready. I'm looking after myself. So we look after ourselves now, not by becoming hermits, okay, and what is it, you know, Jonathan Livingston Seagull or Robinson Crusoe or, you know, Lord of the Rings or whatever, you know, but by actively, you know, dealing with nonviolent communication, with diplomacy, with tact, with loving confrontation, with, you know, I mean, it's just like really working things out with each other. And what are we working out? Let's just look a little bit at Lilith, because everybody asks me about Lilith, you know, and I've really been getting into Lilith since I think 2011 or so. I've been really watching her, talking to her and listening to her, you know, and doing workshops on her and stuff. And she is the shadow. And what do we mean by shadow? Again, a shadow is a negative belief that I have about myself, that I hide or deny or avoid. So I say that Black Moon Lilith symbolizes our deepest, most powerful Kundalini inner feminine force. And she scares the poop out of society, out of our parents, out of our friends, out of people that we need when we're small, out of people that we rely on, okay, that we're dependent upon. So when we're small and we're born into this situation, okay, it's like, don't be Lilith. Don't be your strongest, most powerful feminine self. We don't want that at the dinner table. We don't want that in this family. We don't want that in this society. Now she's moving through Sagittarius. She spends 10 months in a sign. She's there until like November of this year. So we're all getting this. So we what? So don't be Sagittarius. What is Sagittarius? Expanding out of the known and familiar. Going on a quest into the foreign. Religions, elements, philosophies. To widen, expand, and broaden my consciousness. To become a guru, to become a teacher. To open, yes, my right brain, my intuition, to trust and have faith in natural law, in nature, in myself. So Sagittarius is about the freedom, okay, to express my truth, to believe in my intuition, to be right, okay, to be a guru, to be wise. So Lilith going in here brings up the shadow. okay, of you don't know, okay? And we don't want your unfamiliar, foreign people, philosophies, refugees, okay? It's like, you know what? It's like, no, we want the same old, left brain, linear, logical, rational. Don't give me this faith, okay, that I believe this, therefore it's true. None of this, you know, positive affirmations. It's like, you know, we don't go for this, you know, the power of positive thinking. No, 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 no. So it's just like, oh, so the shadow, okay, so we, you know, it's like this is, you know, so we go into the shadow. And we are now all dealing for 10 months, okay, with this shadow of external teachers and preachers and authority figures, okay, that have tried to mind control us and manipulate us, yeah, with their, you know, advertising and with their propaganda and with the massive media influence and with blah, 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 blah. And it can also be your guru, okay? It can also be whoever you follow. Maybe it's me, right? You get to sling, you know, through, you know, shoot darts, okay, at all these people who think they know. So that now we're getting a bunch of, like, you know, false spiritual teachers. Okay, I had somebody call me out, you know, on the oneness, whatever, you know, that I had, you know, on the diepste movement, you know, and that guy is like making all kinds of money, he's false this, and, you know, there's these false gurus and false prophets, and they're just in it for the money, and so we've got, you know, these big, huge egos running around, and so there's a lot of, when we have a shadow, we project the negative, worst part of that outside of ourselves, and we hate it. So if you find yourself, okay, and Sag is about truth, okay? So people, if you have issues with authority, with those who think they know everything, who think they're always right, okay, or, you know, you have issues, you know, like you think they're liars, or this is all about, okay, Lilith and Saturn moving here through Sagittarius. It's really coming into this place of leading us into more and more of our own truth. And this is where it gets really tricky. This is Mars in Gemini, and this is the opposition. Gemini says, well, the truth is changeable. My truth may be different than your truth. There's not just one only truth. So this is the polarity of Sagittarius and Gemini. And Mars and Lilith are really drawing it out now. And this can come into verbal battles. And of course, these verbal battles can become quite emotional. And with the Sun in Taurus and Aries, we can become quite attached to our truth, to our position, that I am right and you are wrong. You know, I'm in truth and you're bullshit. And what does, you know, what does this kind of set up for us, right? We are evolving through a third dimension, dualized, polarized reality, wherein we learn through polarity consciousness. So this is just a means of growing. And it's even our enemies or those that disagree with us or those that fight with us that help us more clearly define who we really are, what we really value, what we really want. One shadow of Sagittarius can be convince, convert, or condemn. Yeah? And so we can go about trying to get everybody to believe what I believe. Get everybody to tell me I'm right. And that makes me more right. And that makes me more emotionally secure. And that makes me more in touch with God, Goddess. You know, that makes me great. That makes me Zeus, Jupiter. And if you don't, I condemn you. I exile you. I kick you out of my circle. out of my life, out of this, that, or the other thing. Yeah? So, this time period now, I think I'm going to jump a little bit to the side. I mean, I got Saturn and Sag with the moon in Gemini. I got this opposition going my whole freaking life. I know this one, man. To me, and to evolutionary astrology, thank you, Jeffrey Wolf Green, each and every soul, depending upon their past lives, depending upon their evolutionary intention for this life, will create a family, a religion, a belief system that is conducive to the particular lessons that they are seeking to learn in this lifetime. To me, that says that there's a certain amount of subjectivity to the truth. That God is evolving, Creator is evolving, and as each one of us expands our consciousness, our frontiers, we are God Goddess expanding. We are the leading edge of the expanding universe. Yeah, baby. You know what I'm talking about. As we create, God Goddess is creating through us and with us and expanding and seeing itself in new ways. So I'm going to say, yes, there are natural laws, and here's the beautiful, and this is why Gemini and Sag are square Pisces. You know? Because Pisces says it's all good, and I can take it all, and it's all part of infinite spirit. It's chaos. Pisces is the paradox. And Chiron, we are healing our wounds around paradox. So there are natural laws that apply to everybody, and there are personal specific truths that for me, I need this truth this lifetime to develop the particular muscle or the particular aspect or element of myself that I incarnated to develop. So this lifetime I can be a Catholic. Next lifetime I can be a Muslim. Next lifetime I can be Jewish. Okay, next lifetime I can be a Druid or a Wiccan. I mean, we incarnate, okay, and we get different reality takes. And we want to look at life from this way, and we want to look at life from this way, and we want to look at life from that way. This is Gemini, the Joker trickster. Yeah, it's periphery consciousness. I'm looking at it from here and 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 here. It's funny because Aries and Taurus is a little more point consciousness. I'm in my subjective self. Okay, and I'm looking at it from right here in my center core. You know, Mars and Gemini is like, well, you know, let's check it out here, let's check it out there, let's check it out there. Yeah. So this is a great time for debate. Talk about it. Try to be flexible. This is the mutable cross. Learn something. Mars in Gemini wants to learn something. And Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius has a lot to teach. If we get over our judgment that so-and-so is full of it, and so-and-so's a liar, and so-and-so doesn't know what they're... If we get over our judgment, there is some little piece, you know, of our truth that we can gain because we didn't pull these people into our magnetic field for nothing. Hello. The old adage of the Mankind Project, you spot it, you got it. If somebody is pissing I could easily feel victimized by the universe the way this camera keeps screwing up on me. Wow. There's a plot against the Paleo Report. This is like the third take on this sucker, man. Runs out of batteries, then I run the whole thing again, and I don't know, it disappeared into La La Land. Mercury is stationary, okay? It's like stopped dead in its tracks before it goes direct. All right, where was I, man? Wow. Enough. I'm just going to the frickin' mantra and get done with this sucker, you know? It's, you know, basically, when I am blocked and don't get my way, it's life helping me see what I want. So rather than feeling victimized, I grow up and lovingly confront. We've been in a retrograde period with 4 planets retrograde, and now 2 of them, the personal planets, Mercury and Venus, have gone direct. We have tapped into our deep truth, our deep heart, our deep life purpose. We've, you know, as hard as it's been, or as lonely, or, you know, whatever, dark and challenging and everything, all of our beliefs and all of our self-love has all been kind of like, all our wounds have been opened. Our heart has been opened, Venus, Chiron, okay? And now Venus is back in Aries and Mars is in Gemini opposing Lilith. And it's time to like come out of victim, come out of powerlessness, come out of the underworld, come out of our introspection and our introversion, and come out. And we're going to be coming out. The moon's north node is moving into Leo for a year and a half. Next week. So we're just wrapping up this Virgo-Pisces axis. We're wrapping up a lot of things here. And now it's time. And we can come out punching. We can come out hitting. It's like, you know what? I've been stifled and, you know, pull that tape off my mouth. And until people want to put the tape back on again. You were a lot nicer when you had tape on your mouth. So, like I said, all that shadow, all of the stuff that we've suppressed, or the new discoveries that we've had, or we can just like come out and want to like make big changes, shock people, hurt people, leave people, you know, disrupt, traumatize people. I mean, it's just like we can just like, you know, take this job and shove it, and this relationship and shove it, and this life and shove it, and blah, blah, blah. I'm going for Aries, Uranus, Eris, freedom, myself, Taurus, and blah. I mean, it's like, But if we really get the hint of Saturn on the galactic center, Saturn close to, you know, conjunct 0 degrees Capricorn, Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius, okay, if we really come into Jupiter in Libra, okay, this is about, okay, lovingly confronting, cooperating, compromising, discussing, balancing, equalizing, liberty for everyone, not mine at the expense of yours. And I want my freedom, but I don't care about you and your freedom. Okay, it's like, you know, there's a way, okay, to deal with this whole paradox. Okay, I mean, I don't know when I went into the whole paradox. You know, I hope it was before the battery ran out, but I'll get into it next week if I don't get into it now. Somebody can tell me in a comment or something, because I don't listen to these things. If I listen to these things, I would not post them because I'm too picky, and I'm never happy with, you know, my results. Anyway, when I am blocked and don't get my way, it's life helping me see what I want, who I am, where I'm going, what my purpose is, what is my excitement, what is my passion. It's like, yeah, we get, you know, we've been blocked and held, and now it's like we know ourselves better as a result of that reflection. So rather than feeling victimized, just kind of know that it's been winter and we're coming into spring, okay, and it's time now, okay, you know, Mercury and Venus direct. It's time now to not feel victimized, yeah, but to grow up and lovingly confront. So go for it. Have those, you know, intentional dialogues, those deep conversations. Express your truths with, you know, even in all of your fear, okay? And everyone will be the better for it. Namaste, aloha, so much love.